and some answers to the drama that we read yesterday. We read yesterday and learned what a prologue was. It will give us background information about the passage that we'll be reading. So the first question you can see is, who is the prologue about? Isis, I want you to take that question. Who is the prologue about?
Can I unmute?
Get a minute, Earhart.
Amelia Earhart, that's what it's about?
Yes, it's about Amelia Earhart. Good job. All right, Catalina, you take the next question. In scene 1, what does Putnam want Earhart to do?
Putnam wants Earhart to fly over the Atlantic.
Very good. That's correct. But he doesn't want her to be what she wants to be. Catalina, turn your mic back on. What does he want her to do? What would she rather fly as?
Pilot.
Yeah, good job. Kaylee, I think we answered the next one, didn't we? Why does Earhart protest? She does not want to be known for flying as a passenger. Okay. One of you boys, I'm going to ask you kind of the tougher one. Let's summarize what all happened in scene 2. It's going to be just the bare basic information. Like if you were telling somebody just the bare important things that happened in scene 2, what would you say? Peyton, will you take that one? It's okay. If you say something and I add to it, that's okay. Just give it your best shot.
That she decided to fly as the pilot, or not as the pilot, as the passenger.
Okay. But is that all that happens? She decides, and then what happens?
She ends up like going, and she eventually gets to fly as the pilot.
Okay. All right. You kind of went in the future, but the bare basics, you would summarize it that she flies with 2 men and she isn't the pilot. Good job. But then they land safely in Wales. And maybe in that summary, I should have added that there was some trouble with the airplane radio, but then they land safely in Wales. All right, Pearson, how does scene 1 help you understand scene 2? Can you take that question? In scene 1, we have the prologue and the conversation between Bill Putnam and Earhart, and then scene 2, things happen from that conversation. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Help us know about her.
Say that again, please.
Help us know about her.
It helped us know about her. Good job. Anyone, Isis, you got anything else you could say to that? How scene 1 helps us understand scene 2.
It talks about how, like, what she wants to be, like, why she wants to be, like everything to be a pilot and stuff. It helps you know why she wants to, like, go on the plane and stuff.
Okay, especially the prologue. All right, and those were good answers. This one is a very basic answer. It says it's the discussion about the flight that actually happens in scene 2. Okay, now I want us to think a little deeper about some things that go with the drama. When she's talking to Bill Putnam in scene 1, how would you describe his character trait? Because he's interested in flying, but he's not going on the airplane. So what's his point in scene 1? What do we learn about him that we could give him a character trait? Okay, Peyton.
He like tries to like persuade her to like be the passenger. It's like he's like kind of tricky and like,
Tricky.
yeah.
Okay. Can you explain what you mean by tricky?
Like he's trying to like he tells her to like she'll get more opportunities if she sits passenger. So
Okay.
he's trying to persuade her.
He's persuading her and he's a little tricky. Does anybody know a word we could attach to someone who's trying to persuade someone and they're a little tricky? Isis, you want to take that one?
Persuade. I haven't persuaded.
You almost got it out. Yeah. Persuasive. Yes. Good job. That's a good answer. That's a way to describe him. All right. Now, who wants to talk about how we could describe the character traits of Amelia Earhart from what we learn in this text? Kaylee, you take that one.
Amelia Earhart is daring because after hold on. What's his name? Bill. He persuaded and he told Amelia Earhart that that already 3 other women died because of it, that she still wants to fly.
Okay, so you call her daring, and that was a really good example from the text of how she is daring. Anybody else got a word for Amelia? Isis?
Like very determined for stuff.
Okay.
Because well, I can't remember. Like I know what it.
All right. Here's hey, Peyton, you want to take an example of her being determined? Determined. I almost lost my breath there.
She's determined because she had like the person had told her how people had died on it and how like planes have crashed and stuff, and she still decided to do it because
Okay.
she's brave.
All right. Could that also go with daring?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you remember one, Catalina, one thing that stands out in your mind that helps us know she's determined? Nope, nothing. Okay. You found one, Isis? I see your hand up.
Yeah. The most obvious one is the 20th sentence. It says a determined Earhart reduces the amount of fuel they are carrying. That makes the plane lighter, finding its source.
It made the plane lighter, and
The determined, like yeah, because she did too much. The plane would have like.
but it knows she's determined because
She did it. Like she wanted to start going to go in the plane.
yeah.
So she was told me to get it done, like fix it.
Okay. So when before that they couldn't take off. That's the part you're talking about. Yes, and then she's so determined that she thinks of something to help them get going. Okay. Bill Stoltz is the pilot, and he notices that the radio goes out. And how's he start acting when the radio goes out? Pearson, can you talk about that a little bit? Some things he says that might let us know how he feels about the radio going out.
He was worried.
He was worried. Can you give me some examples from the text of him being worried? All right, Kaylee, you want to help him out?
Because Sludge right there in 23, it says we have no way to figure out wind speed or where exactly we are.
Okay. That's a good one. Isis, you found another one?
In number 25, 925, says if we land on the water now, we might get rescued. It shows that he's scared, so he's giving up.
Okay. Yeah, he wants to give up and not be a group that makes it over the Atlantic. He wants to just land because he's worried about all the things the radio would have helped him with. That's good. Good job, Isis. And then I believe Earhart shows her determination a little bit more after he says that he wants to land. Catalina, can you tell us something else that Earhart says or does that lets us know that she's a determined person?
But we all have failed. That's not an option.
Yes, she doesn't want to land on water. She doesn't want to fail. Good job. Okay, let's think a little bit. We've been talking about character traits a lot, and you said that Bill Stoltz was persuasive, and you said that Amelia Earhart was daring and determined, and Bill Stoltz wasn't persuasive. George Putnam was persuasive. Bill Stoltz was what was he? Worried or concerned. Yes, he was worried, a worried kind of person. And you found really good evidence. You found really good evidence to back up those character traits. But let's think about the text. That's our key skill this week, is comparing and contrasting characters in a drama. And we will work more with comparing and contrasting in an activity later. But let's talk about the text, what you would like to say if you could talk to these people, if they weren't born a long time ago. Do any of you have any questions you would ask Amelia Earhart? This one's not going to be in the text. What would you ask Amelia Earhart? Peyton?
Why was she so determined?
Okay.
Like, why did she want to do it that bad to want to fly over an ocean where people had already died?
All right. Remember that when we read it the first time yesterday, we talked about women's rights in the 1920s. They got the right to vote, but aviation was still relatively new. There were a lot of problems, and it was considered too dangerous for women. So Peyton just wants to know why she was so determined to fly. Do any of you girls, could you put yourself in her place in the 1920s and maybe think like you think Amelia would have thought and respond to that? Why do you think she was so determined is mainly the basic question. Isis?
Maybe because she first of all, she likes being famous and stuff.
She likes being famous?
No, like she likes fame. She wants to fly fame. Maybe also because she wants to make a difference. Like she wants to be the first one.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, I think that's right, that she really likes flying in planes, or she wouldn't put herself through all that, right? Any of you other girls have a comment on that? Does that pretty well cover it? Anybody else have a question that you would ask Amelia? Isis?
What would she think? What was she thinking when she was in that plane? Like when she was passenger, what was she like? How was she reacting? How was it in the plane?
Flying across the
Like
plane.
what was her thoughts and stuff? That's what I would ask.
That's interesting. Okay. There is a part in the drama that says, do people always sing? Let me find the line. Oh, I think it's the next. Well, that is the last page. Where's the reporter? Is it Irish tradition to greet newcomers with song? because when they land, they start singing and welcoming the passengers that made it across the Atlantic. And the reporter says, I couldn't say, Miss Earhart, this is Wales. Can anyone answer, why does she think that she's going to be around Irish people? All right, take a look back at the page that I've put the presentation on. Do you see the title page that says From Amelia? No, it didn't change over for you. Oh, I stopped presenting, I think. Let me present again. Okay, you're about to see it. You see it?
Yes.
Okay. So see if you can study closely to see why Amelia might ask, is it tradition for Irish people to sing? Okay, I'm wrong. That's not going to help you at all. Let's go over a page. I'll be clipping some of this part. I know, I did that on purpose. I'm looking myself. I'll be clipping this part off of the video. And we may make it with this first day. Okay, it is on the second page of the drama. Scene 2. It's in scene 2. Study, let's do close reader habits and really look through the text and answer, why does she say, do people in Ireland, is it Irish tradition to greet newcomers with song? Scene 2. No, remember the reporter says, I couldn't say, Miss Earhart, this is Wales.
I think I saw something. It's probably wrong. My penguin. I think I have something. It's probably wrong now.
Okay, what do you think, Isis?
Should I unmute?
Huh?
Should I unmute?
Yes, you should.
Maybe were they supposed to land in what is it called? I can't remember.
Wales.
Are we supposed to land on Wales, or are they supposed to land in Ireland?
Are you asking?
Yeah, like
Well, I want you to be good text investigators and find why she might think that they were being greeted by Irish people. Catalina, can you unmute and tell us?
what's the question?
Why does she ask if Irish people always greet newcomers with song when they're in Wales? Why does she ask that?
I forgot.
You forgot? Look at
I was right. Yes.
Okay, Isis is excited to tell us that she was right.
But I was trying they're supposed to go, but since they were given time to land,
You
And
think they didn't land in Ireland because they wouldn't get there in time?
Yeah, so she thought they were in Ireland,
Yes.
but they're actually in
Because
Wales.
because why did you think that?
Because there was supposed to land in Ireland.
Okay. Cite the text. Tell me how you know they were supposed to land in Ireland.
Because on Nail D in the 18th, what is it called?
Line.
No. It says on June 17th, 1928, the trio in Newfoundland, Canada, ready to depart for the transatlantic flight to Ireland.
Good job. Okay, so why did they land in Wales? Pearson, can you add to it? Why did they land in Wales instead? It's not directly stated in the text, but why might you think they would land in Wales and not go on to Ireland? All right, Kaylee, go ahead.
Because before they had to empty fuel because the plane was getting heavy, so they only had 1 hour left, and maybe that they found land on Wales, but they thought it was Ireland.
Oh, you think they thought it was Ireland? Anybody else got a different thought? Peyton?
Maybe since they had they reduced all that fuel that they were running out, so they had to land in Wales or else they would have crashed.
But why not Ireland? Why Wales instead of Ireland? What do you think?
Because I don't think they had enough fuel to get there, and they would have crashed.
So are you saying they're closer to Wales?
Yeah, they're closer to Wales than they are to Ireland.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Good job. All right. If you could ask Bill Stoltz anything, think about that a minute. What would you ask him? Bill Stoltz is the pilot. Okay, I got two of you that aren't talking much at all. Just think of anything you might ask Bill Stoltz. He's flying with Amelia. He's the pilot. Pearson, go ahead and unmute and give us your answer.
How is it being a pilot?
How is it being a pilot? Okay. Catalina, what would you ask?
Will you let Amelia be the pilot?
You want him to go ahead and let her fly. Okay. What reason would you want him to let her fly?
Because it's Amelia's dream to be a pilot.
For women? Yes. Okay, Isis.
They were familiar. How was he feeling? Like, was he scared about being the pilot? Was he scared about the plane stopping or something?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Kaylee?
If he knew about the 3 girls dying, did the other pilots die about when he figured out that he only had the radio was gone, that they would die too, so they wanted to land. And I feel like he was if he was scared, like to where he could have a heart attack if he was that scared.
Yeah. Okay, you want to know if he was real scared, and you think because we'd already learned that 3 women and probably the pilot that was with them died as passengers across the Atlantic. That was good, deep thinking. Peyton, what would you ask him?
What was Amelia saying to him, when they were flying?
Oh, okay. All right. Just one more question. Do you think that the 1920s and flight and aviation, which was exciting, there were motorized airplanes, do you think they considered women enough as passengers, as pilots? And how does that make you feel about that time period? Kaylee?
I think everybody should do whatever they want because girls and boys are basically the same thing. They might look different, but they can do all the same thing. So I think it's unfair that girls can only do limited things that are not that are boring. But like boys, like Amelia Earhart, she wanted to be a pilot, but it was more of a man thing.
Okay, good. Anybody else? Have any thoughts about what it was like then for women to do things, the excitement of aviation? Peyton?
I think that they should have the same rights, and that like if girls can't like fly an airplane, then boys shouldn't be able to.
All right. Good
Like,
to
they
hear.
should have
That's
the
good to
same
hear
jobs.
from a boy's point of view. Sis?
Me though, if I was, I would think it would be super unfair.
Super.
Yeah, like they should be able to do it, like anything they want, like everybody else is doing.
Okay.
Like be a business person. I mean,
Yeah.
anybody can be a business person. Anybody can be a pilot.
So how should women feel about, and girls today, about Susan B. Anthony, who got the right for women to vote, and a lot of protesting women during the 1900s, and about Amelia Earhart, who was the first? How do you think, how does that make you feel about people like that? Harrison, you got any thoughts? Does your mom work? Would she want to stay home all day because that was what was expected?
No, she won't want to stay home.
She wouldn't want to. Are you glad that there's changes and that it's different now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Catalina.
I'm glad just like today, people like girls and women have rights, not like in the past. Like some could be a pilot or anything. It's probably like someone's dream job.
Okay. Kaylee.
I kind of felt like today because everybody can do whatever they want because my mama, she wants to quit her job because she doesn't really like it and stuff. She wants to be somebody who helps the poor and stuff. Um, and also she wants to be a nursing home person because she wants to help the old people because sometimes they can't do anything they like. They can't do a lot of things.
Okay, real quick, if you could do one word about how you feel about people like Susan B. Anthony and Amelia Earhart, who struggled for women back then, what one word would you say to them or about them? And I'm going to go around the room. Everybody unmute. Think a minute. If you can't think right now, say pass, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, Catalina. Okay, Isis.
Cloud.
Are you unmuted?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. Peyton.
Dedicated.
Dedicated. Good job. Proud and dedicated. I like both those words. Okay, Pearson.
What was the question?
If you could say something about or describe the women or how you feel about the women like Amelia Earhart, who was the first woman in flight across the Atlantic and then and had to fight to do what she wanted to do, and Susan B. Anthony, who fought for women's rights to vote. How would you describe them, or a word of how you feel about it? Oh,
Full of courage.
full of courage. Okay, good. Kaylee, keep it short.
Pass. I'm still thinking.
Okay, you got one now, Catalina?
A great person.
A great person. All right. Thank you all very much. And end it right here. Thank you.